Hello and welcome to this episode. And we're not at La Bolla, so don't worry, this is not our ruin. It's the ruin of some friends of ours who have bought it and are going to do it up, and we thought something a little bit different to take you around the place. Starting with the driveway, this place hasn't had any vehicles on it for years and years. So just today, there's been a digger come in to create enough of a road up to the ruin so that work traffic vehicles can actually come up and help with the restoration, because there will be a lot of that kind of traffic going on. So it's a long stretch, and we've been talking about the surface that's going to have to go on it, but it's probably going to be a two-stage approach. Do what can be done now, and then after all the heavy traffic has finished their job, put weed barrier down and put another layer of gravel so that the weeds don't come through. So this is the end of the driveway, and this is the first building. It's the smallest of the three buildings, and we're just going to show you quickly round in that to give you a feel for what they're up against. So the plan with this one in the short term is that this building will hopefully get finished first, and our friends can live in this while they start and indeed finish the other two buildings.
Shall I show them the roof? I'm just going to pan you around for the roof.
The lack of roof. And the building estimate apparently for time on this one is 4 months. So that's for this part of Italy. And they're in Galatina, which is about an hour south of La Bolla. That's incredibly optimistic, but that is what they've been told. 4 months to make this habitable. There's going to be a door going out this way. And they've got to take, this is a ancient stump of a prickly pear. It's not even a tree. It's one of the prickly pear cacti, of which there are many around the land. This has got to come out.
Inside the house.
Inside the house.
Well, the bricked area.
This would be a bedroom / study. And then in here, the idea, again, they've got a tree in this case. This is an olive tree that's going to have to be removed right here. So when we're talking ruin, we're really talking ruin.
Hold on, let me show them the roof again.
Luckily La Bolla was not in this state, I have to say. Hats off to them. They've cleared all of this land here so that it was piled high. They couldn't walk into either of these two rooms when they first bought the place. So they've been clearing like crazy, and you've got the original stones here, which will be lifted and put outside for the outdoor seating area. So this is building number one. This is where the intention is. Longer term, it's going to be accommodation for guests. Short term, it's essential habitation for our friends. And I think they're knocking through there to take it round to a kitchen and a bathroom. So there'll be a kitchen and a bathroom added on to this bit here. So that'll be new build. This was the old garage apparently, and the neighbours remember when there was a horse and cart parked in there.
Yeah, it must have been a small horse.
Yes, a small carriage.
And a small garage. Maybe it was a donkey.
And this...
Hold on, before you start,
yes,
you want to show them the area, this is a courtyard area.
Yeah, this is the
buildings.
original courtyard. So you can just see, the light's beginning to go now, but you can just see the crumbled down bricks around the edge. So it will become again an enclosed courtyard area with, this will all be outdoor garden. And it's spectacular. It gets the sun. It's going to be beautiful. It'll be the centerpiece, won't it, really? And on this side, there is intention to build outwards from here. So the first half out here will be terrace and eating area, and the kitchen will be behind that. And then you've got the original building, which they're needing to put permissions in for. There's a lot of stipulations about historical things that have to be kept. So front door, and then I can't actually remember what their plan is for this space.
This is going to be sort of a lounge
lounge.
Yeah,
yes.
and then the bedroom was going to be behind,
Okay.
and the kitchen was
Well,
going to
this
be
is
outside.
a sort of dining area,
Yeah.
isn't it? And then the kitchen is extended out that way.
Yeah.
So do you want to look at the roof again?
Oh yeah, I'll have a look at the roof
Have a look
again.
at the roof again.
Oh, where's it gone?
But it's a lovely arch. If it wasn't for the wall. It's a bit odd, isn't it?
They put that in afterwards.
These prickly pears are absolutely everywhere, and they are massive, massive trunks. I mean, I'm not kidding. Oh, well, they've got so much to clear out. They've already done a load, but this is, for me, this is quite overwhelming at what they've got to get done. Through here, I believe the plan is to put a roof on.
Yeah. Hold on, let me pan up for the roof again. Oh yeah.
And a lot of this will be storage. And on this side there has to be a toilet because the toilet has to be off the dining area. Is that right? It can't be next to a kitchen, it has to be off the dining room. And there's the two bedrooms are backing onto it.
Yeah, so they're going to use this for the...
That's it.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the ensuite for that bedroom will come here, and there'll be another ensuite for the bedroom there. But at the moment, there's no access to those rooms from here. So at the moment, we have to take you around the front of the building and come back in again. But there's no shortage of work that they have got to do.
Oh, it'll be done by April. No, it will be. The Italian workman said so.
Buon coraggio, amici, is what I say. And then, so at the moment there's two separate doors in, and these are going to be a bedroom, or possibly living room. I don't think it's set in stone yet, but there will be access to the ensuite through there.
Yeah, that's where it goes to the back that we've just come from, and that's going to be the bathroom.
Yes.
On both these sides, because there's probably going to be 2 rooms.
Yes, and this will be blocked off, and then the second room. They are going to keep the original chimney, because that's the original chimney in the building, going up, and even it may well end up just being decorative. But it's one of the original features. And then this room as well will be definitely a bedroom with access to an ensuite. And this will be the way out into the courtyard. So out of here, they've got stumps growing out of doorways and the ground absolutely everywhere. One of these trees, these are all called nettle trees, which I've never heard of, but they grow to be as big as that one there, which offer great shade. So they're invaluable for shade. Then, so the building that's got the most trees growing out of it is this one. So you've got a fig tree growing out that side.
I'll do the olive first.
You've got an olive tree on this side, and they've got to obviously get rid of those first. So
and the fig tree?
And the fig tree is there, and the roots have got to be inside the brickwork, which is quite phenomenal. So there you can see a bit of the root here.
That's impressive, isn't it?
That's incredible, isn't it?
That is just an impressive fig going into a tree, into the building.
Yeah.
Oh, there's 2 geckos in there as well above him.
So this is the third building. That's the old pizza oven, which has disintegrated at the back. So I believe the idea is to shut that off and maybe have a little seating area in here. And this is a 2-roomed affair. They've done a lot of the clearing again, but there's still quite a lot to do. Has it got a roof, Pete?
Oh, it's got a beam. It's got a beam.
A beam.
Yeah, it's got a beam.
Yeah. So the idea here is to keep the chimney place, but have a back boiler in there. Is that right?
Yeah.
And then a pipe going underneath to here, where they'll have a radiator. Because it may not necessarily be for all year-round usage. This will be self-contained, so there'll be an entrance at the back through that wall into a private garden, which we'll show you in a minute. So it's a self-contained 2-roomed affair. And I believe the idea is to come out here and have the bathroom and the kitchen outside. So this would be a living area, no, bedroom. This is bedroom, and that will be the living area. So interestingly, you thought it'd be best to try and do this one first, as short-term accommodation, didn't you? That was your thought.
If it was me, I'd still go with it. I would still do this one first, spend the money, and live nicely while I'm doing the rest, because it's going to take a while.
I think they fluctuated with their thinking, so everything's still a little bit up in the air.
They want to do that small building first because it keeps the costs down, and then so they could live on site.
Should we look at this one first? So
if it was me, I can see how they're doing and why they're thinking that. But yeah.
This will be the outdoor kitchen. So the door out from that room will bring you out into an outdoor kitchen area, and it'll be nice and private. So even if there's other people out here, whoever's in this building can be completely self-contained. And through the back here.
Sal, do you just want to show them what they're going to do with the garden though? Because this
oh, sure.
This would be really impressive.
Okay, so the light's not brilliant, but in the centre, I believe there's going to be a pergola with plants going around it. But the idea is to have gravel paths with lots of dry Mediterranean plants in sections. So it's a sort of a journey through the garden. And I did ask whether the intention was to bring that lower bit up so it's level, but actually they're going to try and put a water feature down there. So it lends itself to being in a dip. So that corner will probably be a sort of wildlife water feature, pond, whatever it will be, over there, which is good because that's a bit shadier in that corner as well.
And both of these buildings that we've just been into face into this courtyard, because this was the original masseria type with an inner courtyard, and you would look at the workers and the land around you. So their idea is to make this the courtyard, the focal point, with accommodation around the courtyard, looking into it, and then put some other stuff outside it, like a pool and the garden areas and that sort of stuff.
Yes, I'm following you.
Well, if you'd like to follow me, that's the last building that we come over to. I call it Fig because it's got a fig going into it and an olive tree. And one of the problems they're having, or not one of the problems they're having, one of the things they have to consider is how they're going to get their water in and how they're going to store it. And the idea really for them is they're going to collect water off the roof areas. They've got a massive roof area up here, massive roof area here, collect it all together, and then they're going to have a piping system and cascade it down to above ground tanks that go down way past the land there. So with this roof area here, you'd have no problem collecting a year's worth of water, and if you need a top up, just bring a truck in and drop some water in. And if you staggered the water containers going down, so 2, 2, 2, they could naturally fill up, overflow, and end up where they want to go and put their kitchen garden area, which is down the bottom. So that would be their sort of water system. I did ask about waste and plumbing, and they're going to have their IMOF right out of the first building and dig a great big trenches to feed everything from these 3 buildings quite a long way, probably 25 metres, maybe 30, and that's just fraught with not difficulties but definitely challenging, with 90-degree turns, long runoffs going down to the septic tank. So the first thing they would need to do when they do the first building before they've done this is make sure that the structure's big enough to then in the future take everything from these other buildings that's going to go down the same.
And this shaded area here is going to be invaluable in the summertime. So the idea here is to have a private, for them, outdoor eating area, which will be in the shade. Because we all know how hot it can be. And these buildings with the 2 doors coming out, and indeed where they're going to have their area by the kitchen, is all south facing. So very, very hot. Right, I'm going to take a little walk now, Pete, and talk about dry gardening. So it's the end of afternoon light, But this little area, which is going to be a walkway eventually, is a wild
To the swimming pool.
sort of garden area. Yes, it's the walk to the pool, which will be a 10 by 4 metre pool at some point over there. But this is completely overgrown. But there you can see some wild phlomis with their dried out flower seed heads over there. There's quite a lot of pistachio lentiscus and, of course, the prickly pear. Here's the perspective from the field looking towards the buildings. Give you an idea of the scale of the work to do. So they're not small buildings at all. Even the smallest building is quite substantial. And I'm standing on one of the many rocks, but this area to the left here is where the pool is going to be. You can see the original chimney tower on the biggest building of all. And you can see why they were charmed. I'm going to walk you around the back. They've got some cuttings from our garden at La Bolla here, waiting to go into their final destinations. And round here, I will take you to look at their rather spectacular cacti display. This is the back of the building that's going to be done initially. Talking about where to put a small citrus grove, because that needs shelter and a lot of sun, and it might well be part of that area. And then we walk down, we got more prickly pears, lots of prickly pears. And the ground is quite difficult compared to where we are. There's a lot of rocks sticking out of the ground, which don't make life easy for tractors or working on the land at all. This area here is eventually going to be where cars are parked, after quite a lot of clearance work, obviously. And the idea with solar is that there'll be carports on here, because people will walk from here up to their accommodation. And the carports, on the roof of those carports, there'll be all of the solar panels needed to run the property, with a technical building being built there as well. So it'll be a self-contained solar source area. And here we go. This is their back field, and spectacular cacti displays. So there's this variety here. Be careful where I'm walking because it's quite undulating, where they're very closely packed together. That seems to be one variety. Then you've got the normal, very common prickly pear variety that we see all around Puglia. And then you've got, so this seems to be a sort of wild garden patch of some sort. You've got the agave growing there. You've got pistachio lentiscus, and you've got these other types of cacti, which if I go here, you can get a close up. It's different to the prickly pear. Same structure, but incredibly different prickles on it. And that is really quite amazing. So there's two of those. There's the other big one there. And all of this land comes with it. So the idea here is quite daunting for someone like me. We've got another nettle tree up there, a big one. But the kitchen garden area will be at the back there somewhere, and a potting area, and then the entrance to the back of the building. But it's just even thinking about how to maintain this land is only problematic because of the rocks. So you've got all the rocks here dotted around, and this used to be apparently where you've got the wall going around at ground level, used to be the area that was used for drying of vegetables. So drying of fave beans, for example, drying of onions and things like that. That all went on in this squared off area. And there's that first variety of prickly pear there. It's a lovely spot. It's just a shed load of work to do. And yeah, no wonder they feel overwhelmed sometimes, but it's got the potential to be absolutely stunning. Unfortunately, these olive trees have died. We were talking about what to do about the suckers on those, but the trees are dead, as are many of the olive trees around this area of Puglia. So coming up with a plan to either replace or graft on the suckers is probably what they're going to have to think about doing. But there we go. That is a different kind of project, and maybe in 3 years' time we'll come back to show you how they've got on.
Well, after coming round, I think the people that have taken this on have taken on a real dream, and there's lots of potential for it to work out, but I think the work is going to be immense. But if they do pull it off, it'll be pretty spectacular.
Grand designs, really, isn't it?
Grand designs almost. So thanks for watching. We've definitely enjoyed our day away from La Bolla and coming somewhere different. We've had a nice lunch as well with some French cider. So it was really great for us to come out and do something slightly different and look at someone else's project and just the scale of their project. And we've talked about what I would do differently or what Sally would do differently to what they're doing. So when someone takes on a project, it's always different, and people have different ideas about and how to do it in different ways. So I do hope you've enjoyed something different from us. If you'd like to subscribe, go on, hit it, give us a thumbs up, and we'll see you on the next episode.